was. Oh no, we have lag. Oh no, we have lag. Okay, it is better. It is better. Very well. Everybody, we're so back. We're finally over here, streaming. We're back to some chatting. We're finally streaming. So we're okay. We're really okay. But wow, I can dislike this. This is amazing. I never even used that thing. I just understood what that was. Amazing. But well, oh yeah, it is still very strange to me that in reality, even if I have already had like almost half of my day already, in reality it is like the first moments I am talking in reality, so to speak, or really engaging in the active way of talking more than what was before random simple answers to whatever it was that somebody told me. And yeah, I checked yesterday and it seems that it is only from my side, so to speak, what feels weird. It really isn't weird. It is only my throat kind of making me remind that I haven't talked before, so it will take some time for it to hit. I don't know, to be okay, basically. But well, we have some simpler streams. We have some. Well, I think I will kind of need to check after a bit because basically I don't really understand if this next upcoming stream will be something that will happen only in one channel or it will be something that will happen on on everybody's channel and we will do each person their own stream, as I never got even the links to set up everything here on OBS, so I will pray that it isn't problematic, so to speak. But well, hello, Mr. Sexter, hello. How's it going? I hope you're fine. I hope you're having a great day, a great afternoon, a great night, whatever it is. Well, yeah, as I was saying, basically, I was talking a little bit about the upcoming micro event that will happen tonight. I think I won't have any problem with the time. I will try to schedule everything else so that I do not find myself yeah, I can say kind of running out of time, just in case. But oh yeah, I am holding the mic. I'm sorry. In general, that we will see how it goes, how it all goes today, later on. And well, aside from that, I also had a lot of other simpler things that I worked on, and today I can really talk about them. What I was doing yesterday that I didn't talk about them, I don't remember. But basically, today we had a lot of, oh, not today, since Monday I have been going back to the channels and doing a lot of changes, so to speak. Now we have a better description, we have some rules, we have some more clarity. I also work on the Twitter, I also learned a lot. I would really have to thank Bunkum for that. He was the one who really gave me all of that feedback and also not only that feedback but recommended to me. I think it is kind of a consultant that also uploads free videos on YouTube, so it was eye-opening, so to speak. Now I have more knowledge than what I could ever have wanted in that regard. I know a lot more about how should I approach my videos on the next time when I so we yeah, it is also one of the things that we will have to do on stream. I will need to create even more tags and I will need to have a tool for it to be easier. So we will see how it goes. I won't really say tomorrow just in case I don't find well yeah, if nothing goes bad it will happen tomorrow then. I was going to say if I don't find the motivation, okay, it is that's how it is going to be basically. As I said, oh no, no motivation, time for me to do it. We will work on it. We will also kinda check on in general other simpler things. I I have been meaning to well that is something I can do right now just in case. But I have been meaning to check once again how it works on stream, the whole YouTube capturing with OBS as well. Yeah, it was kind of interesting this last Windows update. Even if they said that it wasn't going to be anything special, I feel the PC a lot smoother than before, so it might as well have cleaned a lot. It took like 1 hour, 1 hour and an hour and a quarter to fully update this time, so I am expecting it to be working better than before. I pray to God it is working better than before. I don't really know if it is going to work better or not in the case of OBS, but the normal things are kind of, as I said, going better. Now, let me try to set up a little bit of videos to watch. I will say something simpler, like it is incredible. I think in this account I don't have that many videos to watch. I guess I will have to move to another account that has them. Yeah. Yeah, no. I don't find anything over here. This is too much of shit posting. Let me move to my other account where I have still a playlist of watch later. It should be over here. Yeah. It is over here. Okay, let me. Yeah, it is amazing. I can really say the whole PC thing is working better than before. So Microsoft does it once again. They fix their own problems that they somehow create when nobody is watching. So we are fine. PC is going better than ever before. Watch later. Okay. Open my dear friend. Okay, there it is. And now. Oh yeah, a kind of a problem that I found was that I had too many videos to watch that might not correlate to anything that I talk about here that I wanted to watch before, but not that I have talked, so to have a background for them. Let me remove this. Oh yeah, it is kind of weird to see also that I have so many kind of embarrassing videos I guess. But well, we will anyways have to check. Potato chip. Okay. What? Yeah, potato chip. Potato chip team. Let me take you to here. And let me see how it looks over this one. Alerts, Vidon, Sega, Doom, Data, window capture. What? What is this? Where did I place the YouTube capture? What is this? Uh-huh. Okay. It is over here. I found it. Now, why is it? Is it big or what is the problem? I don't really. Oh, it didn't load. Let me wait. Let me transition to here once again. And now it is still not going to load. I hide it and make it visible. Yeah. I worked on it a little bit more than before. There is no background noise as of now, but at least we have something better. At least we have something in reality. With the other one, I had to change the text, and it was a lot more hard for me. Now we really have a right back screen. Why it is not working? Properties, automatic, window. Okay. Okay. I found the reason. It is corrupt properly. No, it is showing a little bit more than what we should really need. Let me edit this. No, edit. Fucking edit. What is the problem? Okay, there it is. Over there. Let me disable this. And now we should be. We did this. The only problem is that we have music. We mute this. We play this. Well, it is at 100% of the original volume, so I have it at 100. I guess if whoever it is that has this playing here it's too loud, we will try to see how we can change it. But if it isn't that bad, we are okay. At least I don't have a problem.
In one of the Captain America films, there's a sequence that satirizes World War II era propaganda. Captain America becomes the face of an American propaganda campaign during this.
I forgot that I watch videos on to speed. Hello. Give me a second. Okay, there it is. There it is. Hello, Mr. Marley. How is it going? Have a nice one. And now, I think we can really check. Let me see.
Sequence. He's in a pro-American stage show with dancing girls. He punches Hitler. He appears on propaganda posters. The whole 9 yards. It pokes fun at World War II era propaganda in a self-aware, over-the-top sort of way. It's a joke. The movie says, isn't it crazy that this is a real thing? It makes us laugh and wonder how people didn't just see right through this blatant propaganda. And in doing so, the movie plays a really clever trick on the audience. It tells us that's what propaganda looks like. It blinds us to the much more subtle messaging that today fills the Captain America franchise and the rest of our movie theaters every single week. Messaging that is legitimately paid for and produced by the Department of Defense. You probably wouldn't be shocked to hear that the US military helped with Captain America or even Top Gun. But they also helped with Wonder Woman, and Iron Man, and King Kong, and Jurassic Park, and WandaVision, and Karate Kid, and Godzilla.
Stop! Okay, there it is. Okay. We're fine. Now, let me check on the audio. How is it going? It is smooth, it is bad. Uh-huh. I paused the video. It is kind of impossible for me to see anything if I pause the video. Oh man.
And Indiana Jones, and probably some of your favorite movies and TV shows.
Okay, there it is, running.
And not just in a we'll lend you some army uniforms way, but in a we get to rewrite your script and we get to say if your movie comes out type of way. Perhaps most shockingly, none of this is a secret at all. Some of the world's biggest earning movies are in essence
Oh man, we have something great between our hands. If there is no real lag, I don't know, I am going to go crazy at this rate. I will. Oh man, what a good thing to see that there really is no lag. Just in case, let me check everything else. Did we have lag on the stream itself? It is kind of. No, Elimao. No. We're testing some videos. Yeah, my house is the White House. I'm sorry, I didn't understand. It is my house. Is the White House. We're advancing. I am the next president of the United States of America. Yeah, I never said anything because I didn't want to impress anybody or get money because of it. But we have video. No, wait, stop the railing. We have video. Everything is fine. Now, I don't know. I think I kind of got overloaded with happiness, taking into account that it works somehow. I don't even know why. I will really say it has something to do with no, yeah, I don't even have a reason as to why it works. Whatever it is, do we have any kind of material that we want to see, or can I play the video that was going on right now? I didn't pay attention, so I might as well restart it. I'm sorry. Let me. Oh man, what a nice thing to see that it works better than before at least. I didn't change anything. I don't really understand why it works, but it does, so we're fine. But well, I don't have a. Yeah, I would like to share the link. I don't have the. No, well, if somebody wants to watch this video, they will ask the name. I will give the name, and we will be fine. Right now, it isn't my problem. Let me play this.
In one of the Captain America films, there's a sequence that satirizes World War II era propaganda. Captain America becomes the face of an American propaganda campaign. During this sequence, he's in a pro-American stage show with dancing girls, he punches Hitler, he appears on propaganda posters, the whole 9 yards. It pokes fun at World War II era propaganda in a self-aware, over-the-top sort of way. It's a joke. The movie says, isn't it crazy that this is a real thing? It makes us laugh and wonder how people didn't just see right through this blatant propaganda. And in doing so, the movie plays a really clever trick on the audience. It tells us that's what propaganda looks like. It blinds us to the much more subtle messaging that today fills the Captain America franchise and the rest.
I don't know, taking into account that this is kind of, what is it? A deep dive into the topic, so to speak. A dissertation made about it, I will really say it kind of gets to the point. No, they aren't AI images. They are all part of one of the Japanese made Captain America movies. I don't know the name. I think we can go lower or wait, no, 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 I lied. Literally, watch this here. They were really made with AI. I just spout nonsense. I'm sorry. Is it showing? No, it isn't showing. But well, there it is. AI. It is made with AI. Amazing. I'm sorry for saying complete false ideas. But yeah, basically, I kind of try to understand it from the way that I don't know, at least from the outside, it doesn't seem that, or well, from the inside, better to say, here in Argentina we don't have that much amount of propaganda, or we aren't really that focused on propaganda. In more developed countries, I have seen a lot more talk about that topic. Here we have a, yeah. It says that's why I was saying later on down the line that they were. I really didn't check. I was completely sure that they were from the one of the many movies that they made on one of the many movies that they made on how is it named on fucking Japan. But well, we're fine. The point is, it is understandable at least for now, and we still have 15 minutes to watch. Let's keep playing.
Rest of our movie theaters every single week. Messaging that is legitimately paid for and produced by the Department of Defense. You probably wouldn't be shocked to hear that the US military helped with Captain America or even Top Gun. But they also helped with Wonder Woman, and Iron Man, and King Kong, and Jurassic Park, and WandaVision, and Karate Kid, and Godzilla, and Indiana Jones, and probably some of your favorite movies and TV shows. And not just in a we'll lend you some army uniforms way, but in a we get to rewrite your script and we get to say if your movie comes out type of way. Perhaps most.
Well, yeah, I don't think that is something that weird in reality. That is not in the sense that the video is trying to go for it as to, oh yeah, we will edit everything that seems important or that can be changed to give us a good look, but in general, in the movies and in the cinematographic world, there has been a lot of censoring in that kind of sense. Basically, people that ways tries to have a say, or governments that try to censorship things around and try to not make the messages so clear. So I guess it really isn't that new, so to speak. At the end of the day, every kind of government kind of did it in a way or in a yeah, in any way, shape or form, basically. In this case, it is only talking out the perspective of, oh yeah, we are trying to change how things look to have more political ideas inserted in the subtext of the movie, but on the other hand, it is also something that even the regulatory administration bodies of each country has in the end about movies and all of that. So I don't really know if it is something to really say, oh yeah, this is something completely rare. But well,
Most shockingly, none of this is a secret at all. Some of the world's biggest earning movies are, in essence, blatant state-sponsored US propaganda, and yet somehow everyone seems blissfully unaware. I want to explain how America makes propaganda, what movies fit this label, and why you should care. Today, the Department of Defense has a page on its website called How and Why the DoD Works with Hollywood. This, in very plain language, outlines exactly that, or more accurately, how the DoD makes propaganda. You see, movie and TV studios don't just have stockpiles of missiles and tanks and guns to use in shooting, so they go to the DoD to borrow them. The DoD lends them these props, or sometimes just outright gives the studios money to make their movies. Of course, there is a catch. The DoD page says, quote, "The Defense Department has a long-standing relationship with Hollywood. Production agreements require the DoD to be able to review a rough cut of a film so officials can decide if there are areas that need to be addressed before a film is released."
Well, yeah, as I literally said, there are kind of monitored the way of checking if everything is right, of if anything kind of can be changed to favor, in this case, the American Department of Defense. But I don't really. Well, the video just said it before. It is something that is known. I wouldn't really guess it is something that catches anybody by surprise, basically. At the end of the day, even if it is kind in a sense free, there is always the how is it? It is there is always the necessity of, even when the Department of Defense gives anything for free, you just by signing the contract to receive those things for free, you also accept the responsibility later on of when writing the credits, so to speak. You will also need to add them on the list of benefactors or contributors, whatever it is. There is no way to avoid, so to speak, revealing the information that you work in tandem, or at least you received something from this kind of organizations. But in general, it not only happens with the, the Department of Defense, it also happens in here in Argentina, for example. We have a lot of environmental agencies trying to fund movies, and the kind of problem that they ended up developing was, if you fund a movie so much that even the directors feel the necessity of adding you at the start of the film, when the first pre-movie, so to speak, credits roll, you are already, in a sense, tainting the message that there is behind. Or well, it isn't that you are tainting it; it is that you're kind of showing that you had a hand on it. For some people, it is something bad. For others, it is something good. In general, it only means that you at least had some kind of influence, at least. But well, let's see. Let's keep going.
Basically, the DoD will give you money to make your movie. They'll lend you the tanks and guns. But that means they get to rewrite your script and edit your final cut as they see fit. In some cases, movies even need to get final approval from the DoD before going to theaters. And this isn't just some crazy conspiracy theory, it's a well-documented phenomenon. There are publicly accessible documents in which you can find lists of media that the DoD has provided, quote, assistance. These documents even list the specific changes made by the DoD. So, what does it look like when these changes are made?
Let's see.
At the end of Jurassic Park 3, the US military comes out of nowhere, storms a beach, and saves the day in a way that is really jarring from a storytelling point of view. It just doesn't make sense. But this had to happen. During production, a US military consultant working on the film suggested that this should be how the movie ended. The United States Air Force was given final right to approve the script of Captain Marvel. If the Air Force didn't like that script, the movie just wasn't going to get made. I could go on with a bunch of other examples. And I will. The United States military worked with Marvel Studios to design the Captain America character. Because of this, the Army allowed Marvel Studios to film at Camp Edward. They thought that Captain America, quote, possessed the values of today's modern soldier, and so they supported the film. The film also included historically inaccurate portrayals of the United States military, including non-segregated battalions, obviously intended to make their image better. The original...
But well, wait. I don't really get what is the point here. What? The water is wet? What are they trying to... What is the point really? It is obvious that they are going to edit those really problematic situations that were a thing in the older years at least. Or even if they are something that keeps happening, it is important to accept that you cannot really show those negative points when you are trying to make a movie talking about how good, in this case, in the case of Captain America, how great or how kind of good can be to join the fucking army. You cannot say, oh no, yeah, there is obviously a kind of segregation if you are from a different race, or if you do not have the perfect American accent, you are going to be separated or treated differently. It is kind of obvious that there will be some kind of touching about anything that they try to make. I wouldn't really say, or I wouldn't really expect even more the Department of Defense of the United States to say, oh yeah, you know what, you are criticizing our whole system. It is okay. This movie is going to roll without one problem. And even more in the kind of political examples that this guy gave, man, what are you going to do? You are really going to criticize the country that you are basing the movie on? I don't know if it is also an example given here, but in Saving Soldier Ryan, for example, you cannot show the that war scene, basically that important war scene. You cannot show it differently. You cannot try to make it worse for the Americans, so to speak. But well, I might as well be saying nonsense at this point, taking into account that it really is something kind of obvious. But well, continuing.
Script of The Incredible Hulk included references to actual, real-life experiments the US military had done. Among other things, it referenced the military dropping pesticides on the Viet Cong to starve the Vietnamese people. But upon reading the script, the actual military had those parts removed entirely. In the movie Godzilla, there was a military character who was originally basically a deadbeat. But the US military had lent support to the film, so they had this character rewritten as a wholesome, sympathetic family man. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of other examples of the same thing, and again, it's not a secret. Recent Freedom of Information Act requests mean the DoD has provided lists of movies they, quote, consulted on. You can find links to some of these in this video's description. But as a rule of thumb, if you see any military sites or equipment in a movie, know that movie probably had to get the DoD's seal of approval. In a 2015 report, the Pentagon included electronic games as a medium that can be used to, quote, benefit military service recruiting and retention programs. In the years that followed, every single branch of the US military got its own esports team. The US Army even streamed on Twitch for a while, where they gave away prizes to kids as young as 12. There's no evidence that the Call of Duty games go through the same DoD approval process as films, but the game franchise and the US military have undoubtedly been quite friendly over the years. Internal Army documents even revealed millions of dollars being allocated to spend on Twitch streamers for playing Call of Duty. The documents also showed that the US military considered Call of Duty as a useful branding and recruitment tool. There are tales of Call of Duty designers going on to work at the Pentagon, and allegedly, the game's parent company has met with Marine Corps representatives during development cycles.
But well, wait, there needs to be a stop here. Man, these videos, I don't know, it is the same as if I were to say, oh yeah, you know what, I had contact with one of the biggest Twitch streamers when I was learning how to be a good streamer. No, I didn't have it in reality. I just went, I wrote a message in someone chat, and that person said, hello. It really isn't anything kind of that. At the end of the day, for example, the whole Call of Duty games have a lot of real real knowledge about the weapons that they were using, and for the sake of that same reason, they also did a lot of um, research on how some weapons who didn't have at those times free blueprints to analyze and to say, yeah, this is how it completely works. Because even if they are not that realistical, they tend to go down a realistical route, so to speak. So it isn't that, oh yeah, they consulted with ex military members for the sake of, oh yeah, you know what, this needs to be the best political game ever. I don't really know if that is kind of a good thing to say, or if that is not kind of a biased way to say it. Basically, it is also the same thing with, yeah, like, no, I don't know, it feels weird when I stop and think about what it is trying to say the video, instead of just taking it at face value. But there is still some more video to watch. Let's keep going.
So, nothing entirely damning, but when paired with the content of these games, a distinctly pro war message does begin to appear. Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare centers on a US invasion to depose a Middle Eastern tyrant. This is quite obviously a retelling of the Iraq War. In the Call of Duty version, though, the Saddam Hussein stand-in actually has nukes. After defeating the villain, the player is left feeling righteous and justified. Perhaps the player even feels glad US soldiers were stationed in non-virtual Iraq to stop such an atrocity. But the real Saddam never had WMDs. That fact was conveniently changed in the Call of Duty storyline.
Well,
Call of Duty.
Wait. That was kind of a lot, man. I don't know. If we are going to assume things, we might as well also assume that everybody that watches or plays war games, movies, is going to directly support their country army, so to speak. It makes zero sense in that kind of regard. Not, and also it is, yeah, it also talks as if every kind of in this case war game or war simulator is based only on the good parts of the war. There are a lot of examples and in all kind of media that really show the whole reality, so to speak. Not only try to talk about, oh yeah, how great it is to have a weapon and kill people. No, it also talks. There are, for example, um, one of the most famous war games, the one where you have to go. It is, I think. Let me check. Let me check. I want to have that game name, but it is basically a real critique about the whole idea behind how everything works, in that sense, how it is that those who participate in wars and those who kill people basically end up being a lot more traumatized than what we really might be able to comprehend at the end of the day. It, the game basically shows how deteriorated is the mind of the character that you control. Then it, it, it is in any kind of way, shape or form, it isn't incentivizing anybody to play a role in a war, so to speak, or if it is, I would even say it is the opposite from going to war. It is one of those kind of games that say, yeah, war is bad. That's it. It is kind of, I don't know, it is weird to hear, oh yeah, um, everybody that watches or that played these games, these movies, now sympathizes with their country army. What? What?
That fact was conveniently changed in the Call of Duty storyline. Call of Duty Black Ops credits the CIA's MK-Ultra mind control program with preventing a Soviet chemical attack. In reality, MK-Ultra was a failed experiment and a massive violation of human rights. The sequel, Black Ops 2, featured Lieutenant Colonel Oliver North as a consultant and a character in the game itself, but this is a man who illegally armed and financed Contra death squads in Nicaragua. Then there's the Ronald Reagan appearance in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. The character in the game protests that a certain mission is illegal and perhaps unethical. A virtual Ronald Reagan soothes his worries, assuring him that it's okay because they are, quote, protecting the free people of the world, and Reagan insists that the military needs to get whatever they want. Call of Duty Modern Warfare features a mission that takes place on the so-called Highway of Death. In reality, the Highway of Death was the name for a place where an American-led coalition bombed a caravan of defeated Iraqi soldiers and civilians. These bombs killed hundreds of people, a lot of them entirely innocent. But in the Call of Duty game, Russia was responsible for the Highway of Death. More broadly, the Call of Duty games collectively feature endless waves of enemies from some fictional alliance of Arabic, Soviet, Vietnamese, South American, and Chinese countries. In Call of Duty 4, the player finds an Arabic nuke on a Russian ship. In another, Pablo Escobar plots with the Soviets. In the games, these bad guys are bound together by a hatred of freedom or some burning desire to see the downfall of the West.
Well, in this case, I don't really think it really is that far. I wouldn't say, well, yeah, it is kind of wrong to say it isn't that far from reality, because at the end of the day, we also have people that went from our country to help the U.S. Army. It happened. It didn't. It wasn't the whole army that went to help the U.S. Army against Iraq and against the so-called terrorists, but it happened. It wasn't an idea or or a thing of our imagination. It ended up happening. In those years, it was almost a political movement, so to speak, to show that, oh yeah, we're so good, we are helping United States so much. How about you vote for us one more year or one more rotation, so to speak. So yeah, at least here it was kind of heavily publicized that way. I don't really find it as something that, yeah, I don't think it is completely departed from reality. In this case, I wouldn't say it was like that. And well, the other things I also discussed them. If you need to consult with a professional, and more so on certain kind of topics, it is understandable to do so, and also say whoever they are. The only real thing I didn't remember was the Highway of Death, but I I guess that is one of almost the most unavoidable changes that need to be made, even if you are trying to not change every kind of script that there is. You cannot sacrifice the reality on the script for a complete, how is it, slander of whoever it is you're representing, so to speak. It is kind of a justification about what they did. It isn't that it was a really bad, or that if it did it, even if it was bad, there was no reason behind it. I don't think the the sub-officials who had to check on whatever it was they were doing on a game were wishing to, or were interested in the idea of, oh yeah, I will completely approve the message that this game is showing, and I will therefore forget about my family, forget about probably returning to my home, and probably get disappeared because I did an oopsie. At the end of the day, even if we live in a society, we also still have to think about ourselves in a kind of way. It isn't that it is completely justified, but there is a certain approach that make it have a little bit more sense than just saying, oh no, yeah, they are censoring everything. Use army bad. I don't know.
America has its adversaries, undoubtedly. But other countries don't just unanimously hate freedom. The Viet Cong didn't hate freedom. South American communist regimes America has toppled didn't hate freedom, etc.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Well, we won't talk about politics in that way, but there are already leaked papers since a lot of years. Yeah, there have been publicly available papers that show how all that communist parties in South America appeared. So I don't know, Mister. I don't know if you're really saying something so correct. I don't know.
etc. But still, Call of Duty puts forth this idea that military interventionism is the glue that holds our global society together. I'm not saying that Call of Duty is some kind of clandestine psyop. I am saying it is one of the subtle modern ways that the military entertainment complex disseminates its messaging. But none of this is even remotely new. The tradition of US military propaganda goes back decades and decades.
But well, at the end of the day, one of also of the most important things that Call of Duty tries to show is how harmful it is for every kind of society to have war, so to speak. Even if it on one hand talks how good it is, on the other it also shows that even if it brings income to a country or to whoever it is that is sustaining those wars, or paying for the weapons and paying for the equipment and paying for the bullets and everything, even if there is that side, it is also talking about how there is so many problematic things happening. I don't know. It feels weird to analyze the video in a certain sense. I was thinking it was going to be more not so biased or less biased.
The US military loves propaganda. It always has. The use of propaganda by the US government has its roots in World War I. During this war, the Wilson administration created the Committee on Public Information. This agency was tasked with influencing public opinion on World War I. The CPI used newsprint, posters, radio, telegraph, and film to further patriotic pro-war messaging. However, the agency drew heavy criticism after the end of the war and was pretty quickly dissolved in the years following. But then World War II came along. Now, before I go any further, I do want to say, when you're fighting Hitler and actual Nazis, it's important to communicate the gravity of the situation. I appreciate that. And in World War II, I also recognize that there was some element of, you gotta do what you gotta do. So maybe World War II propaganda isn't the worst thing in this video, but it definitely laid the groundwork for today's propaganda, which I do feel is quite insidious.
Well,
anyway.
Wait. I don't completely get what the idea is. At the end of the day, in the World War One and Two context, it was kind of necessary to have those departments, as it was kind of a real surprising event, so to speak, to have complete groups of people railing against the already established systems in the search of a meaningful change. It wasn't that they were created just to incentivize people to go to war for them. It was also because even more in those times when it was a completely new thing, so to speak, people was fucking afraid. Imagine if you never knew about politics, or if you weren't somebody involved with those topics, you ended up getting almost sprayed with that information, and you ended up getting, as almost with any kind of extremist movement, or brainwashed in the sense that you thought it was the only possible answer. But well, anyways, it is still kind of fun. Let me continue.
Anyways, around World War II, the US military met Hollywood. It was truly love at first sight. With Hollywood, the military did not have to produce its own material. Instead, it could insert pro-war messaging into media that the American people were already consuming. But there was a problem. During World War I, propaganda had become kind of icky to the average American. It was pretty heavily associated with fascist regimes, and the Committee on Public Information had come under really significant criticism. So during World War II, the United States officially had no propaganda. But the Roosevelt government did circumvent this official line. One way they did this was through the Writers' War Board, or WWB, which has been called the, quote, largest propaganda machine ever created. The WWB was technically a private organization. It was privately owned and operated, but it was created by the request of the U.S. Department of Treasury and entirely funded by the U.S. government. The Writers' War Board had its hand in everything. It was made up of a bunch of individual committees, including the Radio Committee, Foreign Writers Committee, High School Contest Committee, Book Burning Committee, Library Committee, and many, many more. The organization's role was basically to serve as a go-between for writers in the US and the US government itself. If the government wanted some pro-war piece written, they'd find someone to do it through the WWB. But more immediately relevant to this video, World War II saw the creation of the Office of War Information.
Well, wait. I think I really am struggling with this video. I am thankful that it is reaching an end point, but man, that fucking committee was not only made for the purpose of, oh yeah, we want some political ads. It was also made because there was a need of censorship and a need of regulation on what was being distributed to the masses, so to speak. There was already a kind of shake-up in the whole world when fucking Lenin wrote his book, and when the whole Russian Revolution happened. It was a lot at the time, and it was necessary to kind of understand what was going on and what was the most probably best thing to do. So I don't know, I find it very weird to see that it is so focused against the established institutions that try to work in a central way to keep everything as it was. I don't know. Let's keep seeing.
World War II saw the creation of the Office of War Information. The OWI ran all kinds of propaganda projects, but they did a whole lot of film. From 1942 to 1945, the OWI revised or discarded entirely 1,600 film scripts. If a movie seemed to portray the US, its military, or its involvement in the war negatively, that movie wasn't happening, and of course, vice versa. They would lend financial support to the films that posited a patriotic message.
But there is a difference between how many were revised, were analyzed, were reviewed, and how many were directly discarded. If you mix both numbers, how the fuck do I know which one is what? How the fuck do I know? I don't know. It feels really weird. If you're going to give statistics, it would be great to have them correctly given instead of, oh yeah, this bunch of numbers, you do not need real information about them. Let me compress them. You do not need to know the real percentages. Good luck.
The OWI also created several of its own propaganda films, but these were really obviously propaganda. They literally opened with "The United States Government Presents." People knew what they were watching, or at least knew the government had produced it. The OWI was dissolved after World War II, but its model remained the basis for the modern-day US military entertainment complex. And no one has pointed that out more elegantly than Elmer Davis, the head of the OWI. In the 40s, he was quoted as saying, "The easiest way to inject a propaganda idea into most people's minds is to let it go through the medium of an entertainment picture, so they do not realize they're being propagandized."
Well, I guess in that sense it is unavoidable, so to speak, when I will say it is something that kind of ended up happening with, for example, what was the book name? 1984? That book basically that talk about how the communist kind of parties weren't really as good as they seemed from the outside. So yeah, I don't really know. I guess at least this is something that can be chewed on a little bit more than everything else, because it happens on everything at the end of the day. Even if you're not trying to be political, you can give a message that is political, so to speak, or you can end up having propaganda for some. At the end of the day, even if you say being good is okay and being bad is wrong, you are already taking an stance, so to speak, and you are already deciding what is good, what is bad, and what should be the correct thing to do. I don't know. I don't I don't really think it is something that bad or that weird. I don't know. There are only how much? 3 more minutes. Let's keep watching.
Today's DoD-Hollywood relationship obviously builds on the World War II era of American propaganda. Now, some of you might be saying that this relationship is totally fair. Studios can and have made anti-war movies, or whatever they want to make. They just won't get military funding. It's a simple quid pro quo. If you want to use our stuff or you want our money, you gotta play ball. The military doesn't want to financially support things that make them look bad, and that makes sense. This whole argument makes sense. But it doesn't account for all of the issues at play. For one, taxpayers pay for all of those shiny toys and money that the military gives out to movies, video game companies, or TV shows. It doesn't seem ethical that the military manipulates us using our own money. The other issue is that of transparency. You know that these movies are functioning propaganda because you watched this video. But the impressionable 13-year-old does not. He doesn't stick around for the tiny little "thank you to the military" at the end of the Iron Man credits. He probably doesn't know that Call of Duty is rewriting history, and he probably doesn't crawl the DoD website for tucked away disclaimer articles. No, all of this stuff just goes into his impressionable young mind and does exactly what it's supposed to do. The kid probably didn't even notice, but his brain did. And after a childhood of being inundated with pro-military propaganda, he hits 18 and he's ready to enlist. Even outside of this scenario, pro-war media subtly but effectively normalizes global violence and American imperialism. It perpetuates the acceptance.
What? No, wait. Okay. I will hold myself from talking. Sorry. Let's 30 more seconds.
Of our forever wars. Because the military is not making movies and saying, you're about to watch propaganda. These movies, TV shows, and games don't open with, made in partnership with the US military. I'm sure the DoD is quite happy about that. Instead, they are sneaking their messaging into the most profitable, widely consumed media on the planet and hoping you don't notice.
I don't really get the final point. I guess. Yeah. And it also might be a possibility that not only a kid grew up thinking about political stuff and thinking that the army was the correct way to go about his life, but also became the best sniper. I don't know, it is stupid to. I don't know. At the end of the day, it was kind of a great video, but if you analyze it, it has a lot of biases, so to speak. But well, at least we watched something instead of just chatting. At least. Clap. Clap. Very good. Let me go back to here. It was a lot. Oh man. What a random thing that was. But well, we had some video watching done at the very least. Oh man. How much did it take me to watch one video? It was a 16-minute video, and it took me, I will guess, not an hour. I pray to God it didn't take me a whole fucking hour to watch one video. Oh, what the fuck? It took me like, okay, half an hour. That is something more logical than, no, it isn't. It took me, I was 45 minutes watching a 15-minute video. Oh my god, okay, we're fine. We are still fine. Thanks, everybody who came. I didn't mean to go so long. I lost myself along the tracks, but well, we can do some video watching at least. We will see what we will really start watching from now on, whenever I feel like it. It was great. It is all I can say. Let's hope I can raid somebody. Or basically the same thing. Let's hope there is anybody to raid. Torkite. Let's go. Here. Let me mute the here. Play this for a little bit of guitar. Right. Play this here. Okay, there it is. Thanks everybody who came. Thanks bot watchers as always. And well, that's it for today. It was not a so short stream at the end of the day. Oh wait! We have this. We are great. I am so clever. I thought about every part of the process. Now we really have a right message. Okay, let me. No, well, nothing else to say. I think I thanked everybody. Well, everybody who came, just in case you decided to come back to this video later on. And that's it. Now, really, let's start the raid. And let me close. Stop streaming.